Yo, it's good, y'all. It's Project Man. Today we're back again with another video. This is going to be, I know I'm in an interesting predicament here, but at work actually, but I ain't got nothing left to do, so I was like, let me go ahead and film my preview and predictions for my WWE fans out there, wrestling fans, Night of Champions. You know, anybody that's gonna come behind me, I'll cut it out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, excuse me. WWE Night of Champions predictions. Let's get into it. Let's not even make this video more than like 10 to 15 minutes. So let's go. I'm gonna end it with an important. I'm gonna start it with an important match prediction and end it with an important match prediction. So let's go ahead and do this because both of these matches are gonna determine the fate of the WWE Championship. So let's go ahead and address it right here, right now. So we're gonna say who we think is going to win and why, and we're going to judge it logically, not who we think should win. We're going to judge about who we think the WWE is going to choose to win based off the story at hand and things of that nature. But anyway, let's do it. First match, I'm gonna do Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, the King of the Ring Tournament Finals, Night of Champions 2025. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, when SmackDown aired in its actual time, because they went in Saudi Arabia for SmackDown, the show actually cut off Cody and Randy. Like, Randy had said like two lines, and the show had like cut off for like 30-45 minutes of just like us not getting anything, because if you follow me on Twitter, Twitter DJ is a Prodigy, apparently it was an actual real thing going around that a camel in Saudi chewed up a goddamn wire. Now some people say it may not have been that, but I'm running with that story, bro, that the camel freaking munched on the goddamn wire and it cut out the feed, but for like 30 minutes. But anyway, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I wish the first time they would have wrestled each other, it would have been in a match that, like, you know, because think about it. You think Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, right? You're thinking that's going to be like the first time we see that match is going to be great because they're both main eventers now, right? So because of the whole teacher-student thing and all that type of jazz, you thinking like the first time we get this match, it is going to be cinematic, it's going to be a great story, and it's going to be a 3-match series because there's just so much you can unpack there with their history and how Cody had to get, really work hard to get to the main event scene and had to even leave WWE and everything, and how Randy was his initial mentor and all that type of stuff, and with the Legacy faction, and anyway, all that, just a lot of the packing you could do with the story, and even tied in with some things that have happened recently and stuff like that. But anyway, we didn't get that. So yeah, the first time we see that Cody Rhodes Randy Orton match, man, is unfortunately gonna be just in a simple King of the Ring tournament final. Beggars can't be choosers. We are getting the match as we predicted, as we figured we were getting, and I'm gonna go with Cody Rhodes to win here because I think the ultimate goal, based off, like I said, what the WWE is doing, I think the goal is gonna be Cody, John Cena at SummerSlam, and Cody potentially to get the title back after he lost it at WrestleMania 41. But I would hope there's at least some type of, either a different type of finish to the match or dynamic or something that kind of changes coming out of the match, because I can't act as if I'm really thrilled to see Cody Cena too, just because obviously WrestleMania 41 with the Travis Scott ending just being so anticlimactic and the match not being that great sucked. But so that being said, I think we need more to sell us on this feud again, and I hope they're able to do that. But I'm going with Cody Rhodes to win here because I think the ultimate goal is to get his get back on the John Cena, and I just don't see them running it back with John and Randy, at SummerSlam. Even though that's a big match, still, I think the ultimate story, especially with Cody being the modern face of the company or top baby face in the company, they're definitely trying to get him to get the belt back on Cody. And then even coming out of that, I could see a John Cena face turn after SummerSlam. I could see that being the case because the fans had no problem forgiving John Cena. They still cheer him, even though they do the John Cena sucks thing. They still end up cheering him because this is last year and he's a respected legend. So yeah. So I'm gonna go with Cody Rhodes to win that one, but it should be hopefully it ends up being a good match. So next match we're gonna go to is Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. No title involved. Oh, by the way, for those who don't know, it's Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross, Jacob Fatu versus Solo for the U.S. Championship, Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley just in a street fight. There we go. CM Punk versus John Cena, and what's the other match? Oh, Jade Cargill versus Oscar. For those who don't know, I'm kind of running down, not in that order, but I'm just running. I just had to mention the matches first. But anyway, let's go. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Now, it's been great to see that Karrion Kross that has gotten over and stuff like that, and he was doing great in NXT. You know, I remember watching this NXT run, going like, "Yo, this guy really is being treated as a threat." Because I think he took out like Tommaso Ciampa or something like that early on. So like, yo, they were really building him up in NXT, man. A threat. He was undefeated, but then he lost to Jeff Hardy, and then after that killed all of his credibility after that. And then he wore the goofy costume and the mask, and then he got released, and then he came back, and they did a little bit of something with him, especially when they teased that interaction with him and Roman when he came back. Remember that? With the whole TikTok for Roman Reigns, and then that led to him facing Drew, and then that was it. After that, he did nothing that was relevant. Last time he's been on a PLE was WrestleMania 40, but the last time and that was in like a multi-man match against Street Profits and I think Bobby Lashley at the time, and even then, his last singles, so last time he wrestled on a PLE was WrestleMania 40. So last year's WrestleMania, we've already passed this year, so, and last time he's had a singles match, I found out, was Crown Jewel of 2022. Like, that is against Drew McIntyre in a cage match. And I'm like, that is insane. Because that was that was the year he came back and when they were actually looking like they were going to do something with him. But anyway, they're doing something with him now. He's gotten himself over on the internet, which seems to be the wave nowadays. If they don't let you get over on television, you pretty much have to get over outside of television, So, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially with social media being the main form of, let's be honest, the main form of entertainment as far as what people use to consume entertainment nowadays in modern society is easily social media. So if you get yourself over on there, man, you'll get a good bit of that, especially the IWC and that wrestling community. You'll get with it. You know what I'm saying? You'll get with it. They'll eventually listen to those. And every week, the fans have been making more and more noise for him, even though he only gets like one little cameo appearance backstage talking to Sami Zayn. But they've been building up the story of him playing the mind games, playing the kind of devil on the shoulder, right, where he's getting into Sami's head. And the crowd, like I said, has been cheering him every time he's gotten out there. So that means whatever story not that I've kept up everything he's done on the internet, but a few things here and there from what the crowd has seen or know of that he's been doing on the internet, man, they've really been enjoying it because they cheer him every time he pops up on there, even though he never gets TV time. So that's how you know he's really making waves. But anyway, that being considered said, he's telling, like everybody else have said, that right, telling Sami, you're gonna be world champion, or you can be world champion, but you just don't have it in you right now, or you're not gonna be champion yet, or all this type of stuff of Sami not being world championship material or not being world champion yet and stuff like that. Your time will come. Everybody from Randy Orton to Cross to Seth have all been saying this as of this year. So leads me to believe that Sami Zayn is probably gonna win the Royal Rumble next year, considering they love Sami Zayn over there in Saudi Arabia. So they're gonna love him here. Love him tomorrow afternoon, not night, my time, afternoon. So that being said, I think Sami's gonna win this, not only because he needs to win this from losing the second round of the King of the Ring tournament, and also I think they're kind of gonna let Cross be that person getting in his head. Like, I don't think they're gonna let him dominate Sami or anything like that, or they'll give maybe Cross a little something, but I don't think this match will be when they really give him something. I think they'll just kind of I think because he's gotten himself over, he could probably afford to take this loss, even though yes, he would need a win. I think they have people that Cross could beat, so that Sami can, like I said, take this win, so that he's not getting pushed too far down, because he's an underdog, right? And we do think he's going to be world champion. I think a lot of us feel like he's probably going to win the Royal Rumble and win a world championship at WrestleMania next year. Hopefully that's in the plans. But that being said, I think Sami is going to get the win here, man. I just think he's taking big enough losses to where he would need something to kind of get him back up there, because he's an underdog, but you don't want to have him lose too much, right? Because if he starts losing to Karrion Kross, who hasn't been presented dominant like how he should have, it's like kind of tamper with that, not as realistic and whatnot. Moving on, Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu, Mr. Yamin, all gas, no brakes with it. Redheaded dread, redheaded and dreaded. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I think Jacob is going to retain. I like that there's an actual story, with Solo kind of playing the role of the guy that's kind of trying to make it seem like he owns Jacob, and like, I brought you up in WWE, and kind of using that to make it seem like he owes him whatever Solo wants and stuff like that, and playing the role of that dictator type role, like how Roman was doing with Jey Uso. Not the same level of storytelling, but that same type of dynamic. Or the Triple H Batista dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to reference it as. But anyway, what's next? Yeah, so I think Jacob is going to retain. I don't think this is time to lose it. I'm glad Solo has been bringing out that charismatic, more funny, naturally, by the way, funny side of him with his, animated style of, like, his expressions and body language and what he's been saying and how he's been saying stuff. So I like that Jacob is not trying to play the role of the, that dangerous badass like he was initially, even though that worked at the beginning. I think Jacob just being so athletic and more captivating on the promos and looks more believable. I think he's just going to be that pretty much that badass enforcer that they were trying to do with Solo. I think he just plays the role better and just more captivating and entertaining. So that being said, I think Jacob is going to retain. I don't think he loses it yet. I think because he hasn't been pinned at all, at least televised, he hasn't been pinned on television. So I think they're going to save that for a bigger PLE. Who dethrones Jacob, I have no idea, but I don't think he loses it here. I think he retains. And I don't know if he does another match with Solo, but he's going to continue his U.S. title reign. And hopefully we can get, whether they move on from Solo or keep it going, even though, we know there will be interference in this match, with JC Mateo, his Solo's enforcer guy. So should be, so hopefully it ends up being a pretty fun match. They got different styles too, with Solo being more of the kind of brawler, power move type guy, and Jacob being obviously more agile and stuff like that. Should be an interesting clash of styles there. But anyway, moving on, we're going to do Raquel versus Rhea. I think Rhea's going to win. I don't think I need to go that much into detail. I think Rhea's going to win this. Could they end up having Raquel winning maybe by Roxanne's interference? And maybe that kind of continues to play into the story of maybe people kind of pushing Liv out of the Judgment Day because this new Roxanne girl is able to help them out pretty well. Maybe, but I don't know. Something about Rhea's popularity and how much of a top star she is, I don't see her taking too many losses, especially since she's not the champ anymore. And they're letting that run be had with EO, even though they haven't been using her. I think this is just a little something to, for her to do in this street fight, to really kind of set her in. And I get it, that could maybe build a little more sympathy, but I don't know. Some people have said maybe Liv and Rhea team up somehow because they got the same treatment as far as getting booted out of Judgment Day. I don't know if I see that happen, or that would they would have to, especially when they both, mess up their shoulder. I especially Liv, unfortunately, recently. But it's like, I don't know about that. I think they would if they do that, that would have to be really slow cooked, because they just had their last match to start this year. They had their last match, so I don't know about that. But anyway, could they have Raquel win? Yes, but I think from a logical standpoint, as in what WWE's thinking, like WWE logic, what they're gonna do, I think Rhea's gonna get the job done here, and I think this is just adding some adversity for her to have to overcome in this street fight. But knowing that there's no rules, I could see Raquel winning, so maybe more of a toss up there, but I do think Rhea's gonna get the win over on this one. 2 more matches, and it's crazy, right? 6 matches, right? Saudi said, we ain't getting that 5-match format. You better give us at least one more. Saudi said, we paying you a lot of money, boy. You better give us another goddamn match, because we can give you another goddamn million. You can add another match. Anyway, here we go. Queen of the Ring finals at Night of Champions here is going to be Jade Cargill versus Asuka. I think everybody kind of figures another one of those, what's the ultimate story they're going to go with at SummerSlam, because the winner of each tournament final is going to get to face the world champion of their brand at SummerSlam. So I think Jade Cargill is going to get the job done, because I think that's how Naomi ultimately is going to cash in with Jade and Naomi's feud going on. Excuse me. Their rivalry and their tension and stuff right now. I think they're gonna go Jade winning the Queen of the Ring tournament, ends up facing Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam, and then either during the match or after the match, Naomi cash in when Jade either thinks she's about to win it, or Jade ends up winning, maybe beating Tiffany Stratton and then getting cashed in right after for Naomi to take that win. I think would be freaking fire. And Seth also, when you think about it, could end up cashing in whenever in his, because he got a briefcase too, but we'll get into that in the main event. But yeah, I got Jade winning. I think they'll be able to do stuff with Asuka, and who's to say they don't maybe set up Asuka and EO at SummerSlam, even if she doesn't win the tournament. I still could see them setting up that match, which should be a freaking dope match, man. But Jade winning because it fits the story and narrative of them Naomi ended up maybe, playing a role in costing her title by either taking it off her during the match or after Jade wins. Naomi collects the goddamn debt. But anyway, main event time. The WWE Championship, man. WWE Champion John Cena versus CM Punk. Now, look, John Cena last week or 2 weeks ago did the was it last week? Maybe. I think it might have been last week. John Cena did set the world ablaze and was, did one of his best promos when he went in there and basically ripped on purpose, right? Ripped off CM Punk's promo, but used his own words so that way it fit his narrative and his context and stuff like that. And then tonight we got if you didn't see it yet, my bad for spoiling it, but we got CM Punk coming out as my boy Thugonomics, babes. 2003 to 2004 John Cena, man. Word life, this is basic Thugonomics, you know what I'm saying? What y'all know about that, man? Two-Face Raptors walk away with 4 shiners, man. Come on, bro. What was it like taking over Earth and still kicking in your range? Come on, man. I know the bars. But anyway, I do think that Cena's gonna retain, because like I said, even though they could do CM Punk Cody if they wanted to, that's a possibility. I don't know if they're gonna do that at SummerSlam. That's the only thing that's making me go, maybe not, because I don't think they're gonna do it at SummerSlam. Even though their story there, and then they even teased the little backstage where they're like, we can't avoid each other for forever, and we have for the longest time and stuff like that. But I think they're, like I said, because of what happened at WrestleMania 41, even though it got backlash and stuff, 17th world title win for Cena there, and I just think they really want Cody to get back at SummerSlam. So, Punk coming out there as Thugonomics John Cena. I think he had like the Cubs jersey and the chain with the lock on it and the backwards hat and everything. The shorts, or I think it was jorts, and yeah, it was freaking great to see, man. He did a little rhyme scheme on Cena and stuff like that, saying like how he was like, I would be mad too if they rehired my ex, because they did get Nikki Bella back into the mix. And said that he was going to be like, what did he say? He was going to like wipe or clean underwear or something like that for James Gunn, who is the one who's directing John Cena's DC comic Peacemaker series and stuff like that. So I'm trying to think if there's any other lines that he said that I remember. I think he was like basically talking about how he was in all these he was in all these new movies, but he's still a Marine to me, because John Cena was in the Marine series when they were making those movies, and how it would go straight to DVD and all that type of stuff. And then just a couple of different lines in his rap. You might want to see it for yourself, but it was fire. CM Punk, like, never in my life did I think CM Punk was gonna come out looking like a rapper and rapping. And then the ultimate line he said at the end was I'm your Kendrick, and tomorrow night I'm gonna beat you tomorrow night. Or I think it was like, I'm Kendrick, and tomorrow night I'm gonna beat you and I'll make you my Drake. Oh, that was look, we support Drake, man, you know what I'm saying? 6 God OVO, 666, we support October's very own, you know what I'm saying? Champagne Poppy, man, Drake himself, the GOAT. But nonetheless, that was a nice little line that the mic drop line he ended off there. Even though he stumbled through a line or two, didn't really hit, but that's because CM Punk's first time rapping. And I was thinking it'd been funny if he came out there and called himself MC Punk. That would have been hilarious, because instead of CM MC, that would have been kind of cool. They did that, but it was like, I think on the Titantron it read when he came out there to Cena's Thugonomics theme, it was like Punkonomics. That was hilarious. And then instead of word life on the little bar on the knuckles, it said drug free, which he has tatted on him too. So that was dope, bro. But anyway, that was fun. But like I said, I do think Cena is going to retain here. I really hope they have one more match, maybe like a Saturday night's main event. Hopefully, man, they have one more match, bro, because this has easily been the biggest and most fun feud we've seen Cena involved in. It's brought out a better version of Cena. It's even brought Punk doing different stuff, and it's just been really fun and nice, creative with how they've built this feud up, and probably has been the best thing Cena's done since being a heel that's really clicked on all cylinders. Like, there was a few moments here and there when he went against Cody and Randy as a heel, but this is the one that's really fully like been clicking since they pretty much started. So anyway, man, even Punk earlier in the show, I think he apologized to one of the Saudi fans for what he said and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. I know some people calling him a hypocrite, which he technically is, but at the same time, we can't make it seem like people can't be forgiven and apologize or just change their views over time. I know people are taking it as, oh, he's selling out, but you know, it's all perception. Everybody has what they got to say. But anyway, I do think it's going to be a fun show. It's going to be 6 matches. Hopefully we have some goddamn fun, and I will be making my review after the show's over. So when the show over, be on the lookout for a video review, not like immediately after the show, but like after the show's over. Night of Champions tomorrow, I will be making my review on my thoughts on everything and stuff like that, and what the potential future could be with everything. But love and appreciate you guys, man. Had to record here because I was watching SmackDown earlier, so I didn't have time to record my video and stuff like that, but I did at this particular moment. So no matter the predicament, man, like I said in my live stream, my mobile phone live stream earlier that I did here as well, but it was in my car. We don't make no excuses, man. If I got the goddamn equipment and if I'm breathing, I got the equipment to goddamn make a video. I'm goddamn finding a way to do it, man. But anyway, love and appreciate you guys, man. At the end of the day, what can I say? It is what it is, and what it's gonna be is this Prodigy continue to come out with the content, the videos, the bangers over and over again for you guys, doing my thing and doing it well. And I shall see y'all in the next freaking video, man. Love and appreciate you guys. We're gonna put in that work, grind, time, and effort, do what we need to do to get where we need to be, man. And that is at the top of the game, bro. That is the vibe that DJ's on. Also, check out my new Discord that I've created, and the link is going to be down in the description. If you want to join the Discord, you know, have us all chat, recommend videos, all that good stuff. Anyway, I appreciate you guys, and I shall see y'all in the next video, man.